Greetings, YouTube. It's John. It's today is Tuesday, and January 25th, 5 days after my second fusion after 10 years. So this was L4-5. Had done at Baptist Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. Dr. Garcia Bengochea, awesome surgeon, awesome team of people. So I'm back home now. I came home on Sunday. Which is kept an extra day because it's a 2.5-hour drive from Jacksonville down here further south in the Brevard County area of Florida. So this has been my second fusion, and I have one word to describe the whole thing: uneventful. This I was concerned. I'm 10 years older than I was for the first one 10 years ago, and I weigh a little bit more, and I'm definitely not in as good a physical shape as I was 10 years ago. And this whole time was easier. I think everything about it was easier, which is really kind of weird. I didn't expect that. I would have been happy if it was, the same or whatever. Maybe then not that much more difficult, but it's even taken me a while just to do this video because I'm just kind of lazy, just sitting around. So just some of the details. It was an XLIF, but I had rods and screws from the TLIF previously, and I haven't seen the pictures myself yet, but I understand that they took out the 4 screws and 2 rods from my L5-S1 fusion and put in 2 more, another set of 4 screws and 2 rods in the L4-L5 location, used the same holes. Obviously in the vertebrae of L4, L5, sorry. And then the XLIF from my right side went in with the spacer and so on. They used a different pain management technique, which I knew going in. There's instead of waking up with a dilaudid IV, in the pump, they use what's called Duramorph, which it's a type of morphine, I guess is quote unquote injectable as opposed to something you'd run by IV. And I guess they inject that in and around the fusion site, just as they're finishing up and backing out of your body. As a result, you wake up, I was in much better shape waking up 10 years ago on the dilaudid, it was a mess. It really kind of like, you hit that pump a couple times and you basically pass out. It was in quite a bit of pain. So this was much better in terms of pain management and overall, coming out of the waking up out of the surgery and so forth. However, a serious issue with this Duramorph stuff was the inability to pee or poop for a long time. Absolutely could not pee all that night of surgery. They wanted to catheterize me. They pulled a catheter out, in this case, before you wake up. And in the evening, my surgery was like 8 in the morning. In the evening, my bladder was just incredibly painful, and they wanted to catheterize me, and just to get rid of this urine. And I'm like, no, just let me work on this. So I think I sat in the bathroom for like hours. I know it was many hours. The nurse's staff was like, you can't do this. I'm like, I'm comfortable. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. And I'm just like barely dripping urine, doing anything I could to avoid being catheterized. I just didn't like the idea. Of course, I could do it. But so I got through the night, and then in the morning, when this Duramorph started to wear off, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden I had more pain, and I could instantly pee. It's like somebody flipped a switch. Now, in terms of constipation, that was really bad, really, really bad. Also, I think because of the Duramorph, it really, shuts everything down around your waist. So I had to do everything. It was kind of a big joke on the floor. I was drinking prune juice, taking this pill, that pill, you name it. We tried it. The nurses were like, we got to get this guy going. And so finally cleared that up. But that was it. I mean, as it is with dilaudid and with regular narcotics, you have problems with constipation and peeing, but this was over the top. This was like shut down completely. So I would say that this Duramorph idea was very good. because you wake up, you're more coherent and whatnot. But that side effect was really terrible. Other than that, completely uneventful. I came home the last time 10 years ago. I had a very difficult ride home. Kind of part of that was I got stuck screwing around with a pharmacy that wouldn't fill my pain med prescription. So this time I didn't screw that up. I got all my pain meds before I left the hospital from the hospital pharmacy. The ride home was easier. 10 years ago, I've got a video on here. It was quite difficult. This time, it's like nothing. I mean, I don't know. I wonder how much of it is that I just knew what to expect, because pretty much everything was exactly the same routine that I went through 10 years ago, so I knew sort of what I was going to feel like, or at least I knew what it felt like 10 years ago, and sure enough, it was the same basic feeling and process this time, only everything was easier. So I don't have much else to say. I think it's good news for anybody, if you happen to watch this and you're thinking about a second fusion and who knows what, is it going to be difficult? I'm older and this and that. Not necessarily, not in my case. And I've tapered off on the narcotics. I came home taking 20 milligrams of oxycodone. That's because I'm what's called a slow metabolizer. It takes a lot more of any given narcotic to work on me. As soon as I got home, I ratcheted that down to 15 milligrams. And then today, this afternoon, I said, let me take it down to 10. And I've taken only 10 now. And I'm in almost no pain, just almost nothing. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll back it off to 5 and see what happens. That'll only be 6 days out. The last time, I think I recall, I was on oxycodone for like 10 days or 11 days, something like that. And this time, I might get away with even fewer days. So anyway, not much else really. There's nothing to say. It's quite encouraging that you can get through this process even easier. This is really not bad considering all the work that's done and so on. So that's it. Anyway, I'm not sure. I guess I'll post another video in a couple of weeks or something like that. But there's just nothing to say. Uneventful. Take care.